Assembly's live, so come subscribe. Your soul's in trial, or simply tired. So
Welcome to another edition of Conversation with Aaron and Jennifer. This week on Warrior Line Podcast. We appreciate if you like and share and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate everything. I'm thankful that the channel is growing. It's not growing expeditionally, but it's not growing slowly, so it's growing organically. And I appreciate it for it. We've been having some great discussions of late, talking about a wide range of subjects and topics. And today we really got an interesting one that we're going to delve into with care moving forward. But I appreciate it if you like and subscribe and share the channel. Tell your friend, tell somebody, please like and listen to what we have to say, because we also have shorts. We have some great commentary. This is a safe place where we have real talk, and we're truly excited about it. Thank you again for sharing and liking the channel. How you doing, my friend Jennifer? How you doing?
Very good, thank you.
That's good. Yeah, I'm truly excited about another conversation. We always have great conversations. This one we're going to talk about is one that came out in the news this week, based on a press conference subject but it's been going around a long time. A condition called autism, and dealing with that. Now, I'm going to say something clear, and of course, I know with Jennifer, neither one of us are doctors. We will never give any medical advice whatsoever. We're just going to have a discussion based on the press conference that they had up in DC earlier this week about about autism. But again, we're not giving any medical advice or making any medical diagnosis or opinions or telling you what to do medically. That's between you and your doctor and your privacy. So with that, we'll talk about it. I'll just lead with this. My wife this press conference happened. She works in special needs, and she worked with a lot of autistic kids, and she was very upset about things that were put out at the press conference. And so we had a discussion about that, and I spent time with her as a husband, calm her down, because she really loves her kids, and she took a lot of offense to what was said and how it was said, and what was said. So that's evening I had with that. And so I asked my dear friend Jennifer if she wanted to discuss it in a general way, have a general discussion on the topic, and she's agreed to do that, and I appreciate that. But it's a very sensitive topic, very caring topic. Me, on a personal note, as a 12-year teacher in the classroom, I dealt with a lot of autistic children that I was around, and I know that they're angels from God, angels from heaven, angels from the universe, angels from whatever your belief system is. They're angels. And I can tell this testimonial, then I'll let Jennifer speak on this. One day I was walking down the hall, and these kids were walking down the hall. They were what you call, they were kids, and they were walking by the special needs area, and it was like 5 boys, teenagers. I taught high school, so roughly between 14, 18 years old. And they were just having a good time. They were just pointing and laughing at other kids, special needs kids. And it was one of the worst day ever teacher. And I was walking, because I was going to the office to take papers. I was walking to the office, and I rounded them all up, all 5 of them up. And I took them in the office, and I said, I need to speak to the principal. And the principal came out, and I said, this is what I witnessed. These individuals were just grossly, traumatizingly laughing, really openly at these kids and mocking them in a severe way that affected them. And if they're not suspended immediately today, this is my last day. Because what I witnessed, they need to be suspended, their parents need to be called, and they need counseling, and they need to go home and think about it. And the principal obviously seen my face and my emotion about it, because had emotion under control about it, but I was very serious that I'm done. If we're just gonna have a slap on the wrist and go back out in the hall, then I won't be. I'll go to my classroom and I'm gone. And they did that. And the purpose, and it ain't about me, but it's like, I just believe these people are some people are angels from God, and I don't believe anybody should ridicule anybody like that. And I actually had a parent call me, and one of the parents, not all of them, one of the four parents called me, or five parents called me and say thank you, because I'm embarrassed, and I'm thank you for doing that, and not just walking away and just telling them to move on. But my son is going to learn from this, and I thank you for doing that. And so that's for me, my experience being around it. I never tolerated any nonsense from anybody, as far as that, and just an example of what the world we live in, and how cruel people can be dealing with something like this. And like I said, my wife was very upset the other day about the situation that happened, and I'm like, because she works with these kids and she loves these kids, and she put her heart and soul into these kids. Well, she worked with kids, and it was something. But I love your opening thoughts and what you had to say about it. That was just mine.
I think the press conference yesterday served a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Its first purpose was to distract us from the economy, the jobs numbers, the issues that we're having with houses being sold, the chaotic deportations, and just a whole list of things that this administration is doing that they don't want us paying attention to. The Epstein files.
Yeah.
The Epstein-Maxwell emails. So this press conference served to deflect from the things that matter to everyday American kitchen table concerns and conversations. The second function of this press conference with RFK Jr., who is not a doctor, was to push eugenics. And this administration has made it very clear that they are running a Nazi-style playbook. A big component of that is the eugenics piece. Why are they so determined to steal Social Security? Why do they want to raise the Social Security age? Why are they ending Medicaid and Medicare? We spoke about this in a previous conversation. They're intentionally doing things to make life harder for our elderly population. Now here's the next layer. How many disabled people are in America right now? How many children have learning disabilities? How many adults have learning disabilities?
Yeah.
If we can other all of those people, then we make those of us who are left. We have more resources, right? Let's get rid of the dead weight, because they're just useless eaters. So I just want us to look at this, through that lens, that this is their intended purpose, okay? Useless eaters is a disability as a genocidal marker in the Nazi regime, okay? So you can look that up. You can look up eugenics. You can look up things like getting rid of the elderly and handicapped during the Nazi era, and you'll see he's literally, so everyone keeps saying this, right? Stephen Miller is Joseph Goebbels, and he's trying to be Hitler. Okay, but this is more than a talking point, because now it's serious. So where are we going with this? We're going to, 1, other people who have been diagnosed, 2, cut their resources.
Mm-hmm.
3, designate them useless eaters.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is why people are on the internet, on social media, completely enraged. I don't remember anyone from the neuro community going up to him and saying, "Hey, can you attack this issue for us, please?
Mm-hmm.
Can you find a cure that doesn't exist? Can you make life even harder for people who are already struggling to live a normal life with grace and dignity? Can you make it that much harder for them, please? Because it's not enough that you're attacking minorities. It's not enough that you're attacking the elderly. Can you come for our neurodiverse population, please?" I don't ever remember anyone asking for that.
Right.
So those are your breadcrumbs. You can look it up, useless eaters. You can look up genocidal markers. You can look up the Nazi regime, and just really, educate yourself on that, because you'll start to see patterns. If you know what to expect, you will recognize what's happening. And I don't want people to do the lazy, "Oh, I already know about the Holocaust." No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Refamiliarize yourself with it.
Right.
Because America seems to be sleepwalking right into it.
Yes.
And it's crazy to me. So, autism was formerly called the autism spectrum disorder. It's a neurodevelopmental condition. That means it affects how a person's brain develops and processes information. It's lifelong, but it can look very different from person to person, and that's why it's described as spectrum, right? You're on the spectrum, so you're somewhere on the spectrum. I want to be really careful with this, because I don't want to cause harm.
Mm-hmm.
In what I'm saying, my intention is to raise awareness,
Right.
and help other people understand.
Right.
Yeah. So I am AUDHD. So I have autism and ADHD.
Hmm.
And part of the frustration for me is, well, there's multi-layers, but the primary frustration for me is the way it presents in me is not the same way it will present in someone else.
Right.
Example. So the core features of autism is there's social communication and interaction differences. So autistic people, sometimes they like being with other people without actually engaging with them. And in children, you'll see it in tandem play. Children are okay playing with their own toys while other children are playing, but don't touch their toys.
Mm-hmm.
Some are nonverbal. Some, like me, are highly verbal. So you can't
pigeonhole.
It is a spectrum.
Right, right.
And the difficulty for me is with a diagnosis, there's the label.
Right.
So I am, quote, high functioning. All that means is I've mastered how to mask normalcy my whole life, as most women do. Most women on the spectrum have learned very early that you have to pick up social cues. You have to force yourself to be social. Mm-hmm. You have to be like everyone else, or you'll be ostracized.
Right.
in that comes a problem, because you're not getting the services and resources that you need to work things out. I've never made it a mistake. I've never made it a secret that I think differently, that I look at things differently. I'm one of the best problem solvers you could ever have on your side, because I will think out of the box naturally.
Mm-hmm.
I look for patterns. I break down systems. I remember behaviors. I remember things people said in within the context of what. So the way my brain works naturally is very different from the average person, and that I can have a conversation with someone about something, but I'm coming from a completely different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that makes people mad, because they think I'm not listening to them. I am listening to you, but your perspective is not my perspective.
Right.
So I listened, I heard, I understood. Now it's my turn, right? So I'm going to say what I see, what I think, what I feel, what I believe. And I'm not being argumentative. It's just I don't see it the way you see it.
Right.
So part of being the version that I have is people will say, well, then you're not that handicapped. You're not that autistic. There's really nothing wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Who said there had to be something wrong? My brain processes things very differently. You and I have had conversations where I told you, I will go nonverbal.
Mm-hmm.
If someone's attacking me or I feel uncomfortable, I will stop speaking. And it's not because I'm choosing to be quiet. I don't have a choice. So it's important that I advocate for myself, right? If I'm interrupted when I'm speaking, it short circuits my entire train of thought. And my brain seizes like a car engine. I can't go forward. I can't go backward. I can't go anywhere because I was interrupted. Mm-hmm. So now I can't. My brain won't go back to, okay, but as I was saying, because that's not how my brain works. Mm-hmm. There's so much information in my brain, and I'm pulling from all that information to have a conversation with another person. And my objective in that conversation is to not only go over facts, not feelings, facts, and get information. That sounds pretty crude, right? Because most people like small talk. Most people like being in other people's personal business. Mm-hmm. Most people like this socialization aspect of being gossipy and nosy, and I don't find any value in that. Mm-hmm. That actually aggravates me. It makes me tired. So that's me. That's that. And so I wanted to disclose that ahead of time. So the place that we're coming from, I'm not being hurtful. I'm not being judgmental. I don't know anything. I only know myself. Mm-hmm. And that's the perspective that I'm comfortable having this conversation.
Yeah. Speaking
but
of...
I also...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I also wanted to add that the frustration of having people say, well, you're not that disabled, or you're not. Well, I know someone who doesn't even speak. What does that have to do with me?
Right.
This is the problem. Last conversation, we spoke about how Americans who vote are the most simple-minded people in the world. They're not serious about it. part of what was so damaging of that press conference yesterday, there was already a bias built into it. Mm-hmm. People want to justify a handicap as something they can see. There are a lot of handicaps that you can't see. Mm-hmm. And so they'll say things like, well, you're fine. You look fine to me. You seem normal. What does that have to do with anything? That was already the conversation we were having. So after the press conference, it's only gotten worse. Go back to what I said earlier. It's about eugenics, mm-hmm. and useless eaters and othering people. The war that the Republicans are playing is with your mind. Okay? There was no reason for that press conference to happen yesterday. None. It served zero productive purpose. And I really want you to consider that. Were they talking about giving funding to research? No. Were they talking about additional funding for special needs education? No. Were they talking about increasing funding for insurance so that we can do more testing? Because there's a lot of people in the world who are, but they don't know. None of that came from that press conference. What was the point? Ask yourself, what was the point of the press conference yesterday? And then go online and look it up. Look up the keywords for the press conference. Look up autism. Look up cause of autism press conference. Look up autism 2025, and you'll see the sorts of things that people are saying, when really 90% of it doesn't even need to be said because it's not productive. It's promoting eugenics.
Medicine will give you life. You're a warrior, let's get this right. Warrior